With overlays, you can build beautiful pop-ups and overlays for any use case. Grow your email list, offer discounts, recommend products, and so much more. Let's dive into the ins and outs of this feature. Under the Insert panel and Advanced, you can find the two new elements, Overlay and Pop-ups. They both work in the exact same way when it comes to customizing them and triggering them to open. In this case, let's work with Overlay and drag it in. As soon as you're editing an overlay, you will see this blue bar on top of the canvas, indicating that you're editing an overlay. The overlay can be placed anywhere with the distribute and alignment settings, to the left, to the right, to the center, the top and the bottom. Then you can also change the fill color in the background to any color and any opacity. Of course, the overlay can also be adjusted and optimized for every single viewport. And talking about adjusting and optimizing an overlay, you can do so with complete freedom. Anything can be dragged within this row, from sliders to images, videos, product data, you name it. To trigger an overlay to open, there are a variety of different ways. When the overlay is selected, as you can see right here in the layer panel, you can enable a trigger on the right. Click on the plus icon and then you can open an overlay based on page load and on scroll. With page load, you can delay when the overlay opens with milliseconds, and with on scroll, you can offset when the overlay opens based on the amount of pixels someone scrolls down your page or section. Then you can also enable repeat, and this essentially allows you to show the overlay again when someone refreshes or revisits. The overlay can also be triggered from any element on the canvas. So let's exit this editing view, and then, for example, we select this button, and from this button we want to trigger the overlay to open. The button is selected, then we go to interactions and we create a new click action. To be specific, to trigger an overlay, we select the correct overlay, and then when we preview and click on this button, the overlay appears. Another option I want to cover when it comes to overlays is page. You can set page to scroll or blocked. When set to blocked, you can't interact with the page or section behind an overlay when the overlay is open, and you can only interact with the page when you click the overlay away. When set to scroll, visitors can still interact with the page or section behind the overlay or pop-up. Next up, you can also animate the way an overlay appears. Let's do that. First, you select the element in the overlay that needs to appear. In this case, it's this row. It's selected, then we go to interactions, and you can see that there is an effect by default. But of course, we can customize this. Click on Open Overlay, then click on the animation, and then you can choose from a wide variety of different animation presets, which you can of course also customize with complete freedom. As mentioned, pop-ups and overlays work in the exact same way when it comes to customizing them and triggering them to open. To get started, you can use the two new elements, but we've also added a new category within the template library called Elements. Right here, next to the blog category, you can find Elements. And within Elements, you can find a wide variety of different overlays and pop-ups. From size charts to discounts to recommending products, you name it. And that's it for overlays. We're super excited to see how all of you will utilize this new instant feature and elevate your store.